That is some really sick stuff.
Well, guys, every once in a while,
we get blessed from above on high from heaven. His name's Jesus. Idiots. I believe he looks down. He's got his hands kind of like a glamour shots, and he looks down on us from heaven. That's as I understand it from my theology studies. And he blesses us with a beautiful clip sometimes. And this is just funny because I've been looking at all these, you know, I make fun of like goofy right-wing YouTube channels on this piece of... The perfect clip. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this guy, David Rubin. Feel sorry. You know what? He obviously doesn't believe any of this. He just wants a mansion in LA, you know, and he wants a career where he doesn't have to do real work. I get that. I get it, you know? And here he is with the perfect clip. Who's this lady? Who's the show he's on? Gloria Allred. Here we go. Easily, effortlessly, I would say like literally just sort of like with a martini in her hand, owns Dave Rubin to the point of can never return from this.
Yes, children could transmit the disease, although they rarely do, but the parents are all vaccinated if they're good, decent citizens. So I don't really understand the connection, actually.
Are you a good, decent citizen? Are you vaccinated?
It's nobody's business whether I'm vaccinated. That's like me asking you the last time you got laid. I mean, it's just irrelevant.
All right. So, you know, what's really relevant is that it's one thing if you have the right to choose for your...
My medical history is not your business, nor yours.
Oh, my God, dude.
That is some really sick stuff.
Poor guy. Poor guy. But if you're going to get, you know, whatever, a couple $1 million mansion like Dave Rubin did in LA for tricking people, misleading the distracted and the unfortunate on social media, you kind of got to pay for it. You got to take your lumps, my friend. Okay?
It isn't.
So for this piece of video, I wanted to check on the right-wing media, the right-wing YouTube media. It's kind of interesting. They're all kind of defending this woman. What's her name again? Kristen Cinnamon. But what's interesting is the kind of goofy YouTube right-wing reaction to her, because they're kind of into her. I think they have, I don't want to make them feel weird or embarrassed, but I think they're crushing. I think they crushing.
You certainly shouldn't be following a woman into the bathroom. Not to mention, it's illegal. Regardless of whether a state is a single-party consent state, which means you can film someone without them giving you consent, it is illegal still to film someone in a bathroom.
It is.
Why?
Yes,
because
that is some really sick stuff.
The law says there's a reasonable expectation of privacy when you're taking a shit. So...
I would love for Kirsten Cinnamon to come out and be like, guys, I know that there's a video circulating. I was doing number one. I would just want to make clear to the American people I was doing number one. I was not making brown. Okay? These rumors have to stop. I was making it yellow and keeping it mellow. Okay, so what we just saw was his reaction to these people at this university in Arizona following this woman, Cinnamon, into the bathroom, and he's like, it's illegal. That's illegal. This is sick. That's illegal. And I was like, I wonder what his reaction to, what's some of his comments on when those people were running around and doing selfies in the Capitol.
The people were let in willingly. A lot of people don't know this because they'll never show you this. Now, this is, in other words, it's more so the equivalent to people who break through the gates at, like, you know, at a Led Zeppelin concert, at a Van Halen reunion, right? Because they're trying to get front seats.
What?
Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Some students follow a woman give a woman a hard time in the bathroom because she's kind of the face of we're going to pass things corporations like, but not things that like the majority of Americans like, in by the way, pretty much every poll that I've found. That one, he's like, this is illegal. But this other thing where something like 600 people, 600 people got arrested, a couple people got killed, and they were trying to stop. I think a lot of those people were just kind of like, didn't know what they were going to do. They were just like, let's see where this goes. I don't really have to be at work for a couple days. But ostensibly, they were trying to stop an election. God bless them. God bless them. Just trying to stop an election, you know? And to that one, he's like, it's like a Led Zeppelin concert. Led Zeppelin concert, more like a Rush concert, because they were rushing in there. You get it? That's a little bit of what we call classic rock humor. I still laugh at the fact that their set is a basement with a fake window. That is just like the perfect metaphor. Just me and the basement boys down here. We can't go outside in the real world, so we have a fake window that we look at. That's my only communication with the real world, is a fake window painted on my basement wall. Perfect. Did Paul Schrader write this Steven Crowder show? America's sweetheart, what is his name? Ben Pepperoncini has a little bit of a different, angle on this, and I apologize. We'll have to watch some footage of this decrepit fossil. What's this guy's name? Charles Schumer. Here we go.
We all know there needs to be a thorough and honest accounting of what took place on January 6th. The greatest attempted insurrection since the Civil War.
What?
Okay, the greatest attempted insurrection since the Civil War? No. I mean, really, no. The greatest attempt... We literally had $2 billion in property damage over the summer with people who wanted to destroy the systems of the United States. We had federal buildings attacked en masse. It's not even the greatest insurrection attempt of the last 18 months.
It's not even the greatest insurrection attempt of the last 18 months.
Okay, it was...
This is his angle.
They are the same. They are the same. I don't understand the difference. I don't understand the difference between worldwide protest because the police killed a guy on camera.
So this is his angle on this topic of people, the people goofing or doing a goof, having their festival in the Capitol. This was his angle. Like there's probably like 3 minutes of him saying, "Yeah, that was really bad. That was really bad," and then like 2 hours of him like, "It's not as bad as other stuff. It's not as bad as other things." All right, so remember that. Bunch of people run in, get arrested, get somebody killed, trying to stop the election, all this crap. That, when it comes to that, it's like, actually, there's other things that are worse. But now, this lady is the face of obstructing some social spending, and people are pissed off following her in the bathroom. What do we get now?
Tory language, back to unity. Well, Joe Biden was asked about people following Crushin Sinema into the bathroom.
What?
And here were his rather tepid remarks.
Senator Sinema last night was chased into a restroom. Do you think that those tactics are crossing a line?
What?
I don't think they're appropriate tactics, but it happens to everybody. From the only people it doesn't happen to are people who have Secret Service standing around them.
What?
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. It's part of the process. It's inappropriate, but it happens to everybody, and it's part of the process. Does it, though? Does it really happen to everybody? And is the response from the President of the United States the same way?
Compare this he's doing right now compared to the 600 of his viewers, roaming around the Capitol and getting themselves tased and beaten and arrested and killed.
It's not even the greatest insurrection attempt of the last 18 months.
Other things are worse. That's the important point here. Other things are worse.
We knocked on doors for you to get elected, said an activist named Blanca, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us. Cue the sounds of toilets flushing.
New drop alert, new drop alert.
Toilets flushing, toilets. We can pretend that this is sort of an isolated incident, but large parts of the Democratic Party last year were fine with people burning down entire cities. We spent an entire year pretending that riots weren't happening in America's major cities so that the media and Democrats could pretend that the protests over George Floyd's death had not, in fact, morphed into riots. Toilets flushing. Toilets flushing.
Interesting. Even in this video, he missed a much more obvious comparison. I personally do think you should be able to wander into Congress people's offices. You know, you could like go into like who would it be, like Rashida Tlaib or something? You're like, what are you doing in here? Let me look at what you're doing. Or Marco Rubio. That would be a good one. You're like, what are you doing in here? Let me look at what you're looking at there. You take his file away. He's like, give me that back. You're like, get it, dude. You just kind of follow him around, follow Marco Rubio into the bathroom and bully him. And then you're like, you say, why do you look like that? I'm not saying do that. Don't ban me again. Not saying do that. I'm saying that I'm thinking about starting a foundation to legalize that, is all I'm saying.
If you have the wrong sort of views, you ought to be intimidated in life. Like this, Crushin Sinema will be fine. She's a sitting United States senator. But the problem is that this sort of attitude bleeds down to pretty much everything. If you have the wrong views in American life, you can be bullied out of your job. You can be ostracized from your social community. You can be treated like garbage. And a lot of people will just kind of shrug and go, oh, well, you deserved it. You had the wrong sorts of views.
Yeah. Actually, if you're doing really egregious crap, like total corporate corruption, yeah, that probably will and should happen. If it's things like what's going on with this like 3.5 trillion bill, and you can read about that, I'll put a good article in the crap below. What is it called? The comments below. This is a very, very like basic like civil society, like keeping a civil society together spending. It's like older people should not have to go broke if they need hearing or vision care when they're in their old age. And even like very obvious ones, like with the drug pricing thing. Just think about the insanity of this. The lower drug pricing part of this bill is like saving everyone money, except for the pharmaceutical industry. Like everyone saves money. Except for the pharmaceutical industry has to maybe not make an extra gazillion dollars this quarter or whatever. And people are like, hey, like, can we have the bare minimum of like a civil society? And they're like, no. And people are like, okay, then we're kind of mad about that. We're kind of mad about that. And Ben's like, show some respect. Show some respect to these people. But again, I think Kyrsten Sinema a little bit brought this on herself. Because again, we go back to The Sopranos. It all comes back to The Sopranos and organized crime. If you're going to do a crime, so lay low. You got to lay low. We know you're very quirky and very interesting, but now you're getting shouted out on planes and toilets. Okay? Because you did what's known as attracting attention to yourself. Because you're kind of dumb. I'm sorry, Kirsten. What is your Christian? I'm sorry, Kristen Stewart. But you brought this on yourself. All these other decrepit old fossils, I can't pick the one. I can't name one from the other. They all kind of look like snails that somebody poured salt on or something, or like turtles or whatever, all these old guys. All these old decrepit skeletons in Congress. Except for Marco Rubio, looks like a kind of a big baby. So that's a different one. But that's what you got to do. If you that's a kind of a, we do a little bit of a self-help thing on this thing too, and that's the advice of if you're doing crimes, don't attract attention to yourself. You want to blend in as much as possible, and then you less likely to get people putting social media posts of themselves yelling at you on a plane. By the way, Ben, we gotta love Ben. He's still doing the capitalization thing in his YouTube post. I'll read it the way it's written, okay? Biden's pathetic response to Kyrsten Sinema being harassed in a bathroom. It's funny because, like, if this did do some psychological thing, like of reading, the big ones my eyes are drawn to, like all this bull crap you hear in like a design class or whatever, you would read pathetic harassed. Oh, a pathetic person was harassed in a bathroom? Somebody was giving me a little bit of a nice person in the comments was giving me a little bit of a hard time because I said the Theranos lady, I feel sorry for her. They're like, why do you feel sorry for her? She's a con artist. Yeah, but look at her. She's crazy. She's not.
Bullied out of your job. You can be ostracized from your social community. You can be treated like garbage. And a lot of people will just kind of shrug and go, oh, well, you deserved it. You had the wrong sorts of views. Yeah, that's really, really ugly stuff. And unfortunately, you saw a lot of blue checks on Twitter yesterday who are basically talking up that sort of position.
I'm just curious about this. Ben Shapiro. Let's see, where is he? Blue checks. Okay. A lot of blue checks on these blue checks on Twitter. I love that, like, Benny Pepino. I don't know who watches that because, like, I think eventually, like, these people who watch Benny Pepino or Tim Pool or whatever, after a while you would just start saying, like, oh, like, reality doesn't match what they're telling me, these people. Because he's like, Ben Pepino is like, Joe Biden is clearly controlled by, Joe Biden is clearly a Marxist-Leninist, secretly. But look at the front page of the New York Times today. So remember what I was talking about, where this is this 3.5 trillion thing is really like bare minimum keep a society together crap. This is the front page of the New York Times. Biden scales back his agenda in hopes of bringing moderates on board. Yeah. Oh my God.
Corporate communism.
That's what I call
corporate communism.
The president has conceded that his 3.5 trillion collection of spending programs and tax cuts will need to shrink substantially. Oh, look, we can't, guys. Oh, we can't. Let me see. Maybe we can. Let me look. Oh, no, we can't. Do you see? It's just we can't. Oh, we don't. No, I gotta. We can't. Ooh. Maybe later. Can we maybe later? Let me look. Ooh. Do I want to see people getting followed into the bathroom when they're trying to do... That's one of my fears. You know, I'm doing this. And I look and there's like a crowd watching me. You know, that's one of my nightmares. You know, do I keep doing it? Or do I stop and I'll be like, I'll wait for them to leave? These are the moral dilemmas of our time, you know? But, yeah, if you're doing like, kind of like, if you're the face, which you made a kind of a huge mistake of being like, I'm the Gwen Stefani of old people not getting medical care, then, yeah, you attract a little too much attention. And looks like people are striking all over the place, too, so... Might look bad. It might start looking bad for the corporate control of the world. Yeah, I mean?
Unironically.
Oh my God, dude.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away. And we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today for as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.